two Triple Crown winners against the Player of the Year. It'll be the Marshall Thundering Herd against the Louisiana Ragin Cajuns for the Sun Belt Championship. It's Locked On Sun Belt.
You are Locked On Sun Belt, your daily podcast on the Sun Belt Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, welcome back to a special recap edition, I guess, of Locked On Sunbelt, a bonus edition. I am your host, Dave Schultz. It's Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day. We had the Sunbelt semifinals on Friday. We have the championship all set. It is the number one and host, Louisiana Ragin Cajuns, taking on the number 2 seed, as it turns out, Marshall Thundering Herd, 1 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. And it has been quite the tournament. These games have all been decided late. Nothing has been more than a 3-run ball game. And so let's go through it, what happened earlier today. Marshall going up against South Alabama. And again, you know, if Marshall wants to overcome what they think has been disrespect, which I can't blame them. Again, I can't blame them. When you have a Triple Crown winner as a hitter and a Triple Crown winner as a pitcher and someone else wins Player of the Year and wins Pitcher of the Year, I understand this disrespect. They slipped past Coastal yesterday. They beat South Alabama today, not quite in dominating fashion. They took advantage of some really shoddy South Alabama defense. It was not pretty. South Alabama committed 3 errors. Marshall had 2 outs and nobody on when they were able to get a run home in the 6th, although there was no error there. It was a walk, a single, and then a shortstop for South Alabama could knock down the ball and keep it on the infield, and it scooted through and ended up bringing home the winning run. Marshall got a couple of runs in the 3rd inning, and that's where the defense was a little bit shoddy. They took a 2-0 lead. But in the top half of the 4th, kind of shocking everybody, Gabby Stagner hits a 2-run home run off of Sydney Nestor, and it's a 2-2 ball game. And it looked like it was heading to the 7th inning all knotted up. That's important to me because I was doing a local talk show on 103.3 The GOAT, and I was going to take it up until Ragin Cajuns pregame show. And if we go to the 7th inning all tied up and we have to play the bottom half of the 7th inning, my radio show is probably going longer. When Marshall takes a lead in the bottom half of the 6th, it means you only have to play the 7th inning if South Alabama does not score. And they did not threaten in the 7th inning. They went 1, 2, 3. They did have chances. I will say South Alabama had chances, leaving some runners aboard. They had, in fact, after they put 2 on the board in the 4th to tie it up at 2 in the 5th, you know, they had a walk and a single to begin the inning, and they didn't get a run across. They had in fact, it was the 8 and 9 hitters getting aboard to begin the inning, and then 1, 2, and 3 couldn't get the job done, and that's an issue. You have a chance to tack on some runs, take a lead, put all the pressure on Marshall, and you couldn't do it. Now, interestingly enough, Olivia Lackey started for South Alabama. Jenna Hardy came in. She ended up being the losing pitcher, but she pitched pretty well as well. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, the winning run. Again, it was 2 outs and nobody on when Marshall rallied in the bottom half of the 6th. Lackey pitched well, 2 runs, 1 earned, didn't walk anybody, struck out 3, 4 innings on 4 hits. Now, here's going to be the big deal. Sydney Nestor went all 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, all earned, a couple of walks, 3 strikeouts, 4 hits. She only pitched actually 116 pitches, but I think Thursday in the first round game was about 125. So she's got about somewhere close to 240, 250 pitches. I presume she's going to go for the championship. They didn't, use her all year long to let her not pitch in the championship game. It should be noted, Marshall's played early a couple of times, right? I believe they played 1 o'clock on Thursday. They play 4 o'clock on Friday. And Saturday is going to be 1 o'clock as well. The Cajuns, we'll get to them here in a second, but let's get to them now. They're going to have the advantage when it comes to the pitching because Megan Shorman did not pitch very much today. Kendra Lamb came in and pitched most of the ball game. You also have Carly Heath who can pitch. So it's probably going to be somebody between Megan Shorman and Carly Heath, at least to begin the game. I presume Kendra Lamb is unavailable. She pitched a whale of a ball game Friday night against Texas State. She's probably done. You probably have Sam Landry who could come in later on. All right, so Marshall is advancing, as it turns out, 3-2 over South Alabama. Marshall is going to play for their first Sun Belt title championship in their first season in the league. We talked with Megan Smith-Lyon earlier in the week on Locked On Sun Belt and said, we're coming here to win it, to get to the next level, to get to postseason play the NCAAs. We have to win it. We understand we have to take one at a time to get there, but we know we have to win it to get there. So Marshall's done their part. They're coming to the championship with 2 Triple Crown winners. Now, what will the Cajuns do? The Cajuns get past Texas State 4-1. Again, Megan Shorman only goes 2 1/3 innings, gives up 1 run. Kendra Lamb was just outstanding tonight in relief. She's the closer. She usually comes in like the 6th or the 7th inning. All right, she pitched 4 2/3 innings, scatters 4 hits, gives up a couple of walks. It looks like she was getting tired a little bit, but only with her control in the 6th and 7th inning because she was still pumping it up 66, 67, 68 miles an hour. She struck out a batter with the bases loaded in the 6th. She struck out a batter to end the game in the 7th. And the Cajuns take down Texas State. Jessica Mullins, an outstanding pitcher in herself. She didn't quite have her curveball, her coach said in the postgame. You had Sophie Piscos hitting a home run. Maddie Hayden having a big ball game, 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. And one of the crazier plays you'll ever see was a bunt double, a 2-run bunt double. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Now, you take it to Ragin Cajuns baseball. When they have runners on at second and third, they will do what you call a double squeeze. Basically, it's a suicide squeeze from second base. The runner from third comes home, and the runner from second comes home. I've never seen a team defend it properly if you get the bunt down. You don't get the bunt down, you got 2 dead dogs. But if you get the bunt down, 2 runs come home. I'm not going to tell you how to defend it. In this case, I don't think you can do it in softball. The field is too small for that to happen. So, Cecilia Vasquez was at the plate. She bunted it past Mullins. 1 run comes home, and then easily a 2nd run comes home. Here comes the problem. No one was covering second base. Mullins went to go get the ball. The first baseman went to go get the ball. The second baseman went to go cover first. No one's covering second. Vasquez into second base with a double. Unbelievable play for Vasquez. Again, I've never seen anything like it. A 2-run bunt double. That put the Cajuns up 2-0. They had chances to add to it. We had both the Cajuns and the Bobcats had players thrown out at the plate. Maya Davis threw out a runner at the plate that would have tied the game at 2. She also made a spectacular catch in center field. The defense matters. South Alabama will attest to that. And the Cajuns played outstanding defense in this ball game. And it got a little chippy, I guess. Jessica Mullins, a little cocky in the circle. And Sophie Piscos had enough of that when she hits a home run. She was legitimately pointing. She was not hiding it. She was not trying to be sneaky. She was legit hiding it or legit pointing back at Mullins. So we have a great matchup in the Sun Belt Conference Championship ball game. You got the number 1 ranked seeded Louisiana Ragin Cajuns against the number 2 seeded Marshall Thundering Herd. You got the Player of the Year on one side in Carly Heath, and you got 2 Triple Crown winners on the other side in Sydney Nestor and Autumn Owen. Autumn Owen had a big RBI single as well on Friday. although I don't think she's got a hold of a home run yet in a couple of ball games. And so it will be interesting. Absolutely, the Cajuns have the advantage when it comes to pitching because they have Carly Heath, who hasn't pitched at all, and Megan Shorman, who went a total of 2 1/3 innings. And Sydney Nestor is up to, well, I mean, can we see? Can I quickly find it? Maybe not. Let me see if we can get to the downloads portion of the show. And let's see if we can quickly find, no, that's South Alabama. Because what do we say? 116 pitches today. Again, she's going to be in the 240 to, is that it? No. She's going to be in the 240, 250 range. Whereas, Megan Shorman, maybe in the 50 range. I'm not even sure if she pitched that much. Megan Shorman threw 31 pitches. Carly Heath hasn't thrown a pitch. So when it comes to pitching, in terms of, I should not say a major advantage, I would say rested pitchers, all right? Because it's going to be hot. And she's already thrown, again, Nestor's already thrown 240 to 250 pitches. So it will be interesting to see what the Cajuns can do. Also, it'll, again, a little bit disappointed in the crowds, to be honest with you. It's been good crowds. It has not been spectacular. I do not know why. Honestly, I don't know why. That is a little bit disappointing. I don't mind saying. I do not mind saying. But it should be a whale of a matchup. Jerry Glasgow said following Thursday's game, if we get that far, and if they get that far, it'll be a lot of fun to play Marshall. They were actually concerned. At one point in time, Marshall actually was in first place in the Sun Belt because I think the Cajuns had lost like a Sunday game to App State or something along those lines. And so they're looking forward to it. And Marshall's going to be jacked because if they win this, they get the automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. There's no doubt who wants this one more, okay? There's no doubt, all right? The Cajuns are going to want it because they're competitive and they want another championship and yada, yada, yada. But Marshall is going to want this one a whole lot more than the Cajuns because they need it. The Cajuns don't need it. They want it. Marshall, as much as they want it, they need it to get to the NCAA tournament. All right, we will recap it tomorrow when the game is over. We're looking forward to it. I've had a great time doing the shows there the last couple of days. Today was a long day. Usually the show is 3 hours. Today, the show was just 3 hours and 40 minutes. We ran right into Ragin Cajuns softball. All right. I do want to tell you, and I need to go. Maybe I'll go tomorrow. I didn't have a chance to go today. I need to get more Built Bars because they are yummy. Are you looking for a delicious snack, but you don't want all the sugar and calories? Then you need the best tasting protein bar ever, Built. If you're like me and you want to make healthier snack choices, but don't want to compromise on taste, I've got just the thing for you. Built Bars and Built Puffs. Built Bars are healthy and taste amazing. Seriously, they taste so amazing you won't even think they're good for you, but you got to try this. What makes Built Bars so good? Well, for starters, they're all covered in 100% real dark chocolate. That's right, real dark chocolate. And they come in unbelievable flavors like churro, peanut butter brownie, and cookies and cream. I'm not sure how Built does it, but these bars taste like a candy bar while maintaining amazing macros. And what's even better is that they're healthy. Only 130 calories and 4 grams of sugar with a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't need to wait to get a box. For years, we've been talking about ordering Built Bars at Built.com, but now you can get them at your local Walmart or Sam's Club, while you can get your specialty flavors at Built.com. That's right. Head to your nearest Walmart today. Walk up to the pharmacy section and grab yourself a box of Built Bars. You can pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate bar, or coconut puff. By the way, the coconut puff is very good. And if you're close to Sam's, that's where I go. Run in and grab a 13-bar box and our hit flavors of brownie, batter puff, and churro puff. You can thank me later. Looking forward to it. In fact, the one thing, unfortunately, I left the bars in the car during lunch, and it is a little toasty down here in Louisiana. I quickly, once I got to the ballpark, put them in the fridge. They still may be in the fridge, in the press box. Hopefully they are, because there are a couple of good chocolate bars I can have tomorrow. Okay, we'll recap tomorrow following the championship. It's a toss-up. It's, if Sydney Nestor has anything left, it'll be a great challenge for Marshall to take down the Cajuns in Lafayette at Lamson Park. I certainly think the Cajuns are probably a little more favored. They have a deeper lineup and rested pitching compared to Marshall, but it should be a whale of a matchup. Marshall is going to want it. Autumn Owen and Sidney Nestor trying to prove a point, among other things. They need it for the NCAA bid. But the Cajuns also do need it. The Cajuns, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not sure that they care as much as they should. I care. I don't know why they care. Plus, I want to see more softball live here in Lafayette. If the Cajuns win this, I think anyways, they are going to get a host. I think the Cajuns, they're rated like 10th or 11th RPI. They are going to host, and if they win the Sun Belt Championship, they should certainly host as well. They have like the number 3 ranked schedule in America. It is ridiculous. They have a lot of losses to some of those teams, but they have a ridiculously hard schedule, certainly for a group of 5 team. All right, a little bit longer than I wanted to go. It is the Louisiana Ragin Cajuns versus the Marshall Thundering Herd for the Sun Belt Conference Championship. We'll be back on Saturday to recap it. Thanks very much for tuning in. You've been listening to Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day. I'm your host, Dave Schultz. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you on Saturday.